Let your palms come into your lap. In just a moment, I'm going to stand on my knees just so that you can see. I'd like to offer to find a neutral position of your pelvis. So if you're arching too much in your lower back, this is an anterior tilt of the pelvis. And then on the opposite, if you think to really tuck your tailbone, that is a posterior tilt. So find somewhere in the middle where you're neither in an anterior or a posterior tilt, so that your pelvis is in truly a neutral position. And when you're there, I usually feel just a slight kind of tone of the lower abdominal muscles. And then lean back until you sense that your shoulders are stacked right on top of your hips. And if you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes. And then slowly begin to connect to your breath. And when I say slowly connect to the breath, what I actually mean is to direct a sense of intentionality into your breath by stretching it out, by lengthening your inhale and extending your exhale. And so keeping this neutral position of your pelvis, soften the front ribs in, stay close to your breath and bring your palms up to heart center and interlock your fingers all the way up to the webbing. Then stretch your arms forward in front of your heart so that your arms are parallel to the floor. Keeping your front ribs in and that neutral position of your pelvis. On your next inhale, begin to stretch your arms up without moving into an anterior tilt or having the front ribs puff out. So if that means that you don't get your arms all the way up and they just stay a little bit further forward, that's okay. But to the best of your ability, do straighten your arms and lengthen through your side body. And then your breath, it's kind of like a balloon in a way that it moves in a three-dimensional direction. So let your breath move to the front and to the back, from side to side, as well as up and down. Keeping your front ribs drawing in, maybe your arms might be able to go up a little bit higher. Take one more full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, take your arms out to shoulder height. Take a deep inhale breath. As you exhale, twist to the right. Place your left hand on your right knee and your fingertips behind you. With your belly drawing in, inhale, sit tall, and then exhale, revolve deeply to the right. With your chin parallel to the floor. Keep breathing as deep as you can. And with your hands on your thighs and maybe on the floor, you can use a little bit of your upper body strength to leverage the twist, to twist a little bit deeper. Then drawing your belly in, just lift up your hands so that now you are not leveraging the twist, but see if you can keep the depth of the rotation of your spine. So just starting to stoke the fire a little bit and warming up your core. On your next inhale, come back to center, reach your arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, twist to the left. So with arms first, deep inhale, sit tall, and then exhale, twist to the left. Draw your shoulders down your back so that your collarbones remain nice and wide. Hug the shoulder blades together, and then belly to spine, twist, 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 twist. With your belly in, now just release your hands and keep the depth of the twist. So without your hands, you're just relying on the strength of your center to initiate this twist and also to hold it. Twist a little bit deeper, 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 and then inhale, come back to center, reach your arms out to shoulder height, and then exhale, gather your palms to midline. Take a deep inhale and a slow exhale. At the bottom of your breath, release your palms to your lap. Lean over to one side. Scooch all the way up near to the front of your mat. Take one of your blocks between your upper inner thighs. With your feet to the floor, reach your arms forward. Take a deep breath in, squeeze your block, and then exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Allow for your shoulders to arrive first, and then your head. And then once your arms rest beside you, draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a little squeeze. Keep the block. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Then coming back to center, stretch your legs up towards the sky so they're kind of straight-ish. But keep squeezing the block between your inner thighs. Then interlock your fingers behind your head. Keep squeezing the block quite actively. Draw your belly in, take a deep inhale breath, and then as you exhale, lift your hips up. Try not to let the legs swing too far forward towards your face, and then breathing there, or maybe also lift your shoulders. Squeeze the block, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep the breath going. Rise up a little bit higher, hips down, shoulders down. Take a deep breath in. This time as you exhale, lift your shoulders first. Breathing here, then lift your hips. Smooth breath. And if your floor is a little bit hard, I'm with you. Keep squeezing the block. Good, slowly release down, everything down. Remove the block, but now you might be able to feel the inner thighs a little bit more awake. Keep the fingers interlocked behind your head. Take a deep inhale breath. And then as you exhale, lift your shoulders. From here, slowly lower your right leg forward. Keep your lower back smushed on the floor and the front ribs drawing in. Then your right leg will stay exactly as you have it. Slowly tap your left heel down towards your right toes. And then as you pull your leg into your chest, see if you can bring it a little closer just using the strength of your core. We'll do 4 more. Slowly left heel down. And then exhale, draw it all the way back up. Take the last 3 in your own rhythm, and if it's too much with your head and shoulders up, you're more than welcome to lower them down, but keep the front ribs drawing in so that your lower back is smushed down onto the floor. I think that's 4. I'm going to do 1 more. So the next time that your left leg comes up, hold there. Draw your right leg up, and then relax your head and shoulders. Take a big Buddha belly breath in. As you exhale, lift your head and shoulders. This time the left leg will hover down to any degree that you can keep your lower back down, and then slowly from here, right heel taps left toes, and then pull it all the way back up. 4 more. Inhale to lower, and then exhale, squeeze it into your torso. Keep your breath going. And try to go slow. I know we always want to rush through these abdominal exercises, but try to savor the moment and really connect so that you can feel which muscles are working. Again, front ribs in, lower back to the floor. So last one. The next time that your right leg comes up, pause, then take the left leg up. Relax your head and shoulders, and now draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Take a full deep breath in. This time as you exhale, lift your forehead up towards your knees. Then from here, send both legs forward, both arms forward. Have the inner edges of your feet connected and the knees. Take a big breath in. Come all the way up into Navasana with bent knees or with straight legs. Smooth, easy breath. From here, cross your ankles and step to plank pose. As you center your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Your knees can be up or down, but if your knees are down, anchor your tailbone towards your knees so there's a long line from your shoulders to your knees. If your legs are long, also anchor the tailbone down so there's a long line from your shoulders to your heels. Smooth breath. Take a full deep inhale. As you exhale, lower your right forearm down and then your left forearm down. Pause here as you inhale. Right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, left forearm down, right forearm down. Breathe in, so we're just moving on the exhale. Exhale, left hand, right hand. Big breath in. Lower your right forearm, lower your left forearm. Inhale here. Exhale, right hand, left hand. One more round. Inhale here. Exhale, left forearm, right forearm. Big breath in. As you exhale, left hand and right hand. Take a deep inhale breath. As you exhale, lower all the way onto your belly. Once you're down, bring the tops of your feet to the floor. Take your hands in front of your shoulders. Then as you inhale, rise up into this really spacious Cobra pose. Exhale, pull your heart forward and down. Then palms beside your rib cage using just the strength of your back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, release. We'll flow here. Hands in front of your shoulders, so you weight the hands. Inhale, gather the elbows in so the forearms are up. Exhale, heart forward and down. Palms beside your rib cage. Inhale, rise, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale to lower. Hands come forward. Inhale, elbows in, heart forward, gaze forward. Exhale, release. Palms beside your rib cage. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower. One more round. Hands come forward. Inhale, gather the elbows in, pull your heart through the window of your arms. Exhale to lower. Palms beside your rib cage. Inhale, rise, either to low cobra, just using the strength of your back. Rise to high cobra so that there's a little bit more weight in your hands, or if you're ready for it, upward facing dog. Whichever option you're in, actively reach back through your legs and press the tops of your feet to the floor. Belly to spine. Take one more full deep inhale. Downward facing dog. As you exhale, lift your hips up and back. With the ridge of your palm pressing forward and down. Stretch through your side body as you lift your hips up a little bit higher. And then perhaps your heels may soften a little bit closer down to the floor. Let your eyes focus to one spot so that your eyes are steady as a tool to help you steady your mind. Let your breath infuse the shape of your body. 3 more full cycles of breath here. See that your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're all the way at the back. Either fingertips to the floor or palms to your shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Rise to stand. Inhale, come all the way up, full stretch. Stay standing. As you exhale, take your arms behind you and interlock your fingers at your lower back. Deep inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward, long legs, long spine. Sorry about that. Let the weight shift forward into the knuckles of your toes and completely release the weight of your head. From here, you're welcome to stay at center or bend deeply into your left knee. Spin your torso open towards the right. And as you ground into your right heel, nudge your right hip back, and then think of a little bit of a back bend here as you lift your heart away from your belly. Add more breath. From here, let's switch. Start to bend deeply into your right knee as you extend into your left leg. Turn your torso open to the left. And then same idea as you ground into your left heel, pull your left hip back and lift your heart away from your belly. More breath, always more breath. So just as you started creating space in your breath at the beginning of your practice, now starting to create space not only in your breath, but also in your body. And then hopefully by the end of the practice, maybe a little more space in your mind. All right, let's come back to center. Keep your fingers interlocked. Inhale, rise to stand. Once you're standing, keep your inhale going and switch your arms to the sky. Exhale, arms go wide, hinge at your hips, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale, walk your palms forward to plank pose. Pause here. Inhale, send the crown of your head forward. Knees can be up or down. As you exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Place the tops of your feet to the floor. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale, lift your legs. Keep your palms to the floor today. Hug your elbows in. And then see if you can pretend to pull your hands towards your hips. And you might rise up a little bit higher. Take one more full deep inhale. Lift legs up, lift your chest up. Then as you exhale, flex your feet, lower down. So toes are curled under, knees stay down. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, press up onto all fours. Inhale, come forward into cow pose. As you exhale, move into an active extended child's pose as your hips move back, but the heart is stretching forward. Release your head down. Inhale, roll and round up to cat pose. As you exhale, come to cow pose. Pause here for your breath in. Exhale, move back into that extended child's pose, but this time lift your knees and make your way back to downward facing dog. Press down into your left foot. Take your right leg up nice and high. As you exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Keep your shoulders forward. Inhale, send your right leg back. As you exhale, right knee to your left upper arm. Make the connection. Inhale, leg goes back. Exhale, tap your right upper arm, squeeze in. Inhale, send your leg back. Stay here as you exhale. Take one more full deep breath in and stay as you breathe out. Three-legged down dog, inhale, right leg high. As you exhale, knee to nose once again. Look forward on your inhale. Step forward as you exhale and lower your back knee down. Inhale, rise all the way up, Anjaneyasana. Root your tailbone down and draw your front ribs in. Take a big inhale, breath, stretch up. Then as you exhale, lower just your right arm down. So if your fingertips don't touch the floor, this is where your block may be useful. And then side stretch over towards the right as you contract into your right side body and open up through the left. Easy breath in and full breath out. Continue to draw your right hip back. So it's similar to that standing forward fold that we did with our fingers interlocked. Anchor down into your right heel and pull your right hip back and add more breath into your left side body. With your belly to your spine, inhale, come back through center. Curl your back toes under if they're not already. Then as you exhale, lift your back knee, swoosh your arm bones behind you. Rib cage hovers above your thigh. Then on your next inhale, just let the arms sweep alongside your ears and pause. Keep pulling your right hip back and anchoring your tailbone down and really squeeze into your right glute. Take one more full deep breath in. As you exhale, left fingertips to the inner right foot and stretch your right arm up to the sky. Good. Intend for your right thigh to be parallel to the floor. With every inhale, send the crown of your head forward. As you exhale, keep twisting, twisting, twisting to the right. Two more big breaths here. Keep your inner thighs hugging to the midline. It's a similar sensation like when you have the block there. And on your next inhale, rise through center all the way up to crescent pose. As you exhale, shift your weight onto your right foot, hands to heart center, and left knee draws into your chest. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, step back to crescent pose. Take a deep inhale breath. Exhale, stand on your right leg once again. Left knee to your chest and hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, step back to crescent pose. Big breath in, lift your heart one more time. Exhale, rise to stand on your right leg, hands to heart, left knee to chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to crescent pose. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your palms, or skip it and stretch into down dog, and we'll meet you there in a breath. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Press down into your right foot. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose and pause. Shoulders stay forward. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, over to your right upper arm, make the connection. Inhale, leg back. Exhale to your left upper arm. Inhale, leg goes back. Pause here as you exhale. Take one more big inhale. Stay for the breath out. Three-legged down dog. Inhale, take your left leg high. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Look forward on your inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, rise, low lunge. Keep your right arm up as you exhale. Left fingertips come down to the floor or to your block. And I think it's really interesting to note, maybe on the other side it was possible, and maybe on this side not so much. Maybe it's the same. I think it's really good information to notice how your body responds on each side. Keep anchoring into your left heel and pulling your left hip back. Stretch out through your right fingertips a little bit more. One more cycle. On your next inhale, reach your left arm up, right toes curled under. As you exhale, swoosh your arm bones behind you, rib cage to your thigh. Lift your chin away from your chest and look forward. On your next breath in, float your arms alongside your ears. Get a little bit longer in the shape of your body. So from your right heel lifting on top of your right toes, stretch through your side body all the way out to your fingertips. Then big inhale breath. As you exhale, right fingertips to the inner foot, and then stretch your left arm up to the sky. Aim for your left thigh to be parallel to the floor, and like there was a magnet between your left knee and your right shoulder, really hug into the midline. Then from your center, stretch along your spine out through the crown of your head. Just as much as your right fingertips are plugging down, reach up through your left fingertips. One more full deep inhale. Twist a little deeper as you exhale. Then crescent pose. Inhale, hug the inner thighs to the midline as you rise all the way up. As you exhale, shift your weight onto your left foot, hands to heart center, right knee to chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crescent pose. Just be mindful of the furniture. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, rise to stand on your left knee, left leg, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to crescent pose. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hands to heart, right knee to your chest. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crescent pose. Take a deep inhale, lift your chest. Chaturanga is your exhale. Follow your breath or skip it, and we'll meet you in down dog. Big inhale. Full exhale. Pausing here for 3 breaths or child's pose. Whichever shape you choose, embrace a sense of steadiness in your outer body and feel for the steady flow of your breath. Last cycle. Press down into your left foot. Inhale, take your right leg high. As you exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Keep your shoulders forward. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, squeeze to your left upper arm. Inhale, leg goes back. Exhale, tuck your right upper arm. Inhale to your 3-pointed plank. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg up. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose and pause. Look forward on your breath in. Step forward as you breathe out. Rise to crescent pose. Inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, open it up to warrior 2. Take a moment to pause there while I switch it out. Intend for your right thigh to be parallel to the floor. So ideally, which sometimes isn't always what's real, but good to keep the ideal in mind, is that the right thigh is parallel to the floor. Not that I can demonstrate that, but you get the idea. Give your back leg a little more responsibility as you press into the outer edge of your foot. Take a deep breath in, lunge lower as you breathe out. Flip your palms to the sky, inhale, reach up. Make a fist with your hands, just like we did at the beginning, and then flip your palms to the sky and reach up. Keep your front ribs drawing in so that you feel connected to your center. Take one more full deep breath in. Sink a little bit deeper once again as you exhale. And then inhale, exalted warrior, reach up and back. If it's too much with your arms floating in the sky, go ahead and release your left hand to your back thigh, but keep stretching vigorously through your right fingertips. And if you do have both arms up, straighten them as best you can. Arms alongside your ear, just like when we started. Stay close to your breath. Belly to spine, inhale, rise through center. Exhale, open up your arms. Inhale, reach forward. From here, now start to pull your right hip back and open it up into triangle pose, palm to shin, or to your block or earth on the outside of your right lower leg. As you press down into your feet, squeeze the muscles of your legs on all four sides. Lean your torso back. Big inhale, stretch your left arm up. Then as you exhale, take it to your lower back, or perhaps catch your right inner thigh. And then just let your head move wherever you would like it to be. So sometimes I take the classical gaze of looking up, but with the amount of tension that I often carry in my neck and shoulders, I prefer usually to let my right ear droop down to my right shoulder to get that big stretch through the left side of your neck. Remember your feet pressing down and keep toning the muscles of your legs. 2 more breaths here. From here, on your next breath in, stretch your left arm to the sky. Look down to the floor as you exhale. Half moon, if you have a block, take it with you. Once you transfer the weight onto your right foot, roll your hips open, spread your left toes wide, and lift it up a little bit higher. You're welcome to stay here or start to bend your left leg, reach back for the bind, Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Wherever you're at in this shape, aim to lift your torso up so you get a little bit lighter on your right fingertips, or start to float your palm, right palm to heart center. Keep the breath fluid and free. If your hand is at heart center, start to bring it back down to the floor. If you're in the bind, on your next inhale, extend your left arm and your left leg. As graceful as you can, quietly step back to warrior 2. Because I can't hear you, it was very quiet, so well done. One more shape, inhale, reach forward, extended side angle. Either forearm can meet your thigh, or the hand comes to the inner foot today. Either keep your left arm extending alongside your ear, or take it behind you for a half bind like you did in triangle pose, or perhaps a full bind as you wiggle your right shoulder underneath your right thigh. Wrap your right sitting bone underneath you and then lean back. Notice where your breath is moving and notice where it's not moving. One more cycle. Keep your right knee bent. Inhale, rise to warrior 2. Stay in the lunge. I know I'm with you. Exhale, plant your palms and step to plank pose. Take a moment of pause here. Big full inhale. Chaturanga as you exhale. Cobra or up dog. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lift your hips. Press into your right foot. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Keep your shoulders forward. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, tap your right upper arm. Inhale, leg back. Exhale to your left upper arm. Inhale to your 3-pointed plank. Stay for your breath out. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose and pause. Look forward on your inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Rise to crescent pose. Deep breath in. Open it up to warrior two as you breathe out. Take a moment to settle down into your feet equally and sense your shoulders right on top of your hips. So as you wrap your left sitting bone underneath you and steer your left knee to the middle of your left foot, aim for the rib cage. Never mind the hips, just let the hips do their thing, like Shakira always says. But draw the rib cage to face the long edge of your mat. Flip your palms to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Interlock your fingers with the other thumb on top and flip the palms upwards. Straighten your arms, big breath in. Lunge deeper as you breathe out. Then stay low. Inhale, lift up and back, exalted warrior. So once again, you always have the option of supporting your torso with your right hand, lightly sliding down your back leg. If you have the fingers interlocked, straighten your arms to the best of your ability. Everyone, keep wrapping your left sitting bone underneath you. So I know this always feels like such a strengthening pose for the legs, but it's actually a hip opener. The side effect is that you get stronger legs too. So that idea of wrapping the sitting bone underneath you and then intending for your left thigh to be parallel to the floor. One more breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms to shoulder height. Inhale, reach forward, then start to pull your left hip back. Open it up to triangle pose. Palm to shin, or maybe a block. But if the hand is moving beyond the shin, it comes to the outside of your leg to keep your spine in a greater alignment. Because if the hand comes to the inside, you tend to round forward. So lean back. Full inhale, the right arm stretches up. Then exhale, take it behind you. Could be on the hip, to the lower back, or perhaps you find your left inner thigh. Then let your head move wherever it feels like a good place to be. And then be all there. So be all there. Notice what you feel. If there's any thoughts, notice what they are, but then let them go and return your awareness back to breath. I'll give you some more alignment points to think about in a moment when we transition in one more cycle. If you do have your right arm behind you, on your next inhale, stretch your right arm up to the sky. Look to the floor as you exhale. Make your way into half moon. Once again, if you have your block, take it with you. Roll your right hip on top of your left and stretch your right arm to the sky. Breathing there, or start to bend your right leg, catch the top of your foot, and press your foot into your palm. Open up through your chest. You're welcome to stay there, or start to reach up a little bit more through your torso and perhaps float your left hand to heart center. Remain committed through the inner left foot and remain committed to an even flow of your breath. Keep your belly to your spine. If you're in the bind, on your next exhale, left hand to the floor, and then inhale, stretch your right arm and your right leg long. As graceful as you can, warrior two, quietly, just like the other side. And then last shape here, extended side angle. Place either your forearm to your thigh as you swoop your right arm overhead, or perhaps your hand will come to the inside of your foot, and you're welcome to have your block there too on any orientation. Breathing here. Or start to backstroke your right arm, hand to your lower back, or maybe you catch your left inner thigh. Either staying there or start to cuddle your left arm underneath you. Look to take the bind and keep wrapping your left sitting bone underneath you. Maybe take your gaze over your right shoulder. Add more breath. So I know, especially in this sequence, this is the last shape. If you're starting to feel a little bit tired or heavy, Add more breath to invite that sense of lightness, to add the quality of ease. Last breath. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. We're going to come out differently on this side. Inhale, warrior two, rise all the way up. This time as you exhale, extend your left leg, parallel your feet and take your hands to your hips. Press down into your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. And then as you exhale, begin to hinge at your hips, bow forward. Once you're down, take your hands to the floor, underneath your shoulders. So the weight is going to stay heavy in your heels. Walk your arms away from you, almost like you're coming into a wide-legged downward facing dog, but most of the weight stays in your feet so that you can technically lift your arms away from the floor, but we're going to keep them down. All right, so from here, I'm going to mirror you. Take your right arm out to shoulder height. Swoop it underneath your left arm so that your right hand holds the outside of your left leg. Start to turn your gaze underneath your left arm and maybe start to bend into your right elbow to deepen your twist as you look underneath your arm. Smooth, easy breath. So your left hand is just like in down dog, but the hand that's holding your leg is starting to bend to help you deepen the twist. So you're welcome to stay here or now start to bend into your right knee to deepen the twist even further. You might feel the stretch more into your upper back. If you are bending your right knee, widen it out to the right and take 2 more breaths. From here, if your right knee is bent, move it towards straight. Unravel your right arm to the floor. Take a deep breath in. I hope you're all still with me. And then stay for your exhale. Left arm, inhale, reaches out to the side. As you exhale, take it underneath your right arm to catch somewhere on the outside of your right leg. Start to turn your gaze underneath your right arm. And maybe you can bend your left elbow to help you gain greater access to the twist. You're welcome to stay there or now start to bend into your left knee. So for me, this is a big stretch into my upper back. Of course, the hamstrings, the inner thighs, there's a lot more, but for me, it's mostly into the upper back. If you are bending your left knee, keep widening it out to the left. 2 more big breaths. Breathing into wherever you feel this the most. If your left knee is bent, move it back towards straight, and then unravel your left arm forward. Take a deep breath in, lift your chest. As you exhale, take your hands to your hips. Very slowly, inhale, rise all the way up. Okay, glad you're still with me. Turn your left toes forward, and then step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of your mat. Gather your palms together at heart center. Take a deep inhale, lift your heart into your hands. Exhale, release your arms. Press down into your feet, inhale, stretch for the sky. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. As you exhale, step or jump back as you cycle through your vinyasa, or skip it and we'll stretch into down dog in a moment with you. From downward facing dog, hold here for 2 breaths. Keeping your downward facing dog, bring the mounds of your big toes to touch. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, rise to your tippy toes, lower your knees to the floor. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees so that you're sitting on your heels with your toes curled under, even your baby toes. Find that neutral position of your pelvis just like you did at the beginning so that you're not arching too much in your lower back, nor are you tucking your tailbone underneath, but Like Goldilocks, it's just right. Then from there, let me just say first, if this gets too much for your toes, come to stand on your knees, but keep the toes curled under. This is such a good stretch for your feet. Good, sometimes painful, and really intense. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. Bring your palms to touch, cross your thumbs, straighten your arms. We'll take a few rounds of Kapalabhati breathing here. If any of you are pregnant, just stay to a really easeful rhythm of your breath, breathing full, deep, and complete. But otherwise, take a big breath in. As you exhale, open your mouth and sigh it out. Then inhale halfway in, and then through your nose, exhale. So keep going if you know this. With Kapalabhati, it's like a pumping of the abdominal area where you're really forcing on expelling the exhale, and then the inhale just kind of happens. You can go fast or slow as you like. Just a couple more, keep pumping your belly. Keep going for 3, 2, keep pumping. 1, inhale, deeply stretch up. Exhale, float your hands to heart center. All right, you can use your hands or not. From here, chair pose. Maybe just roll over your toes, sit back into your heels, keep your hands at heart center. If you need to use your hands, by all means, use your hands. Take a deep breath in, twist to the right as you exhale. Keep your hands at heart center, lifting your heart into your hands. Draw your shoulders down your back. Take one more full deep breath in. Twist a little deeper as you breathe out. Inhale, chair pose, realign, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Lift your heart so that they come right, your thumbs come into the middle of your chest. Maybe looking over your left shoulder, sink your hips a little bit deeper. One more full deep breath in. Twist deeper as you breathe out. Inhale, back to chair pose, realign, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, long legs, long spine. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk your hands forward to downward facing dog as you exhale. Separate your feet hip distance apart. One more full bright breath in. And a slow breath out. You're welcome to stay here or adding in another vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga or to your belly. Cobra or up dog, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lift your hips. Once again, from downward facing dog, bring your big toes to touch. Kind of like before, but not quite. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Slide your hands back towards them and stretch your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Pause here, take a deep breath in, with or without your hands, chair pose. So roll over, keep your hands to heart center. Sink your hips a little bit lower, lower, lower. Belly to spine. On your next inhale, rise to stand, keep your hands to heart center. Exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. Grab a hold of the front of your shin, and then hug your knee into your chest. Inhale, stand taller. As you exhale, I'm going to face you for this one. You're going to just slide your hand to the top of your ankle or your foot for like a quadricep here. Quadricep stretch. Stay as you are. Remember what we did all of that work with the pelvis while we were kneeling. Find a neutral position of the pelvis here so that you're not arching into your lower back. So as you keep the neutral position of your pelvis, perhaps take your left thigh bone back. Keep rooting the tailbone down and the belly to your spine. Stay as you are. So hopefully you're all at the back of your mat. Then from here, you're going to keep your left knee bent. Take both hands onto the top of your right thigh and slide your hands down your leg. Now start to straighten your left leg as you move to standing splits with no hands. Or, of course, if you need them, hands. Stretch your left leg up as high as you can. Lift your left leg a little bit higher. Release your hands to the floor. Walk your hands forward into a three-legged dog so the left leg should be up. Inhale, lift your left leg up a little bit higher. As you exhale, lower your left leg down, and between your big toe and your second toe, you're going to hold onto the back of your right heel and encourage your right heel to descend down towards the floor a little closer. For those of you who get your heel down quite easily, wiggle your right foot back so you do get a nice stretch into your Achilles tendon. Keep the sitting bones lifting side body long. One more breath here. From here, inhale, take your left leg up. Look forward, bring your thumbs to touch. So you're in down dog with your thumbs touching, fingers spread wide. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. So you're in a wide lunge. Then lower your right knee down. From here, take your left hand onto your left thigh. So if you were with me yesterday, pretend like your left foot is in a ski boot, almost like we're going into funky pigeon pose. But you're going to use your left hand and press your chest away from you to get a little bit more into your left side body. But your left foot is just like in a ski boot, so it's very flexed and active. Roll your right shoulder down your back. As you dig the outer edge of your left foot into the floor, pull your left hip back. From here, maybe you stay. Or keep your left foot as you have it, bring your left elbow to the sole, the middle of the arch of your left foot, so to the sole of your foot, and then your palms come into Anjali Mudra. Press your foot into your elbow and your elbow into your foot. So it's a big hip opener. Maybe from there, stay as you are. I'm gonna go back this way. Maybe from here, with your right toes curled under, you lift the back of your knee. Smooth, easy breath. 2 more cycles. Get a little softer at the back of your heart. All right, so from here, slowly lift yourself up. Wiggle your left foot back to center and step to plank pose. Take a deep inhale breath. Chaturanga as you lower. Cobra or up dog. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lift your hips. In downward facing dog, bring the mounds of your big toes to touch. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your knees. Slide your hands back towards them. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart center as you exhale. Squeeze the inner thighs to the midline. So like when you had the block there, chair pose. Heels down, hips stay low, hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, sink a little deeper as you breathe out. Hands stay to heart center, inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, right knee to your chest. Hold the front of your shin and squeeze your right knee to your chest. All right, so from here, slide your hand to the front of your shin or your foot as you start to find the thigh stretch. So it's really easy. What happens here is that the front ribs will puff out, and then the tendency is to arch into the lower back. To the best that you can, keep the neutral position of your pelvis that you established right at the beginning. So tailbone is down towards the floor, the lower belly pulls in, and then see if you can take the femur back. The thigh bone goes back. Front ribs in. So you'll feel your core working here. One more breath. Press through the inner left foot, steady your gaze. So now you know we're going to go to standing splits. For a moment, keep squeezing your right heel to your hip. Release, bring your hands to your thigh. Then start to stretch your right leg back as you slide your hands down your left leg, moving into standing splits. With or without hands. Try for no hands, and then if you need them, you got them. And stretch your right leg up to the sky. So eventually your hands will hold your ankle. Straighten your right leg, lift it a little bit higher. And then from here, fingertips to the floor. Take a deep inhale. Walk your hands forward to your three-legged down dog. Right leg stays lifting. Inhale, lift it a little higher. And then from here, as you exhale, you're gonna place your left ankle, the Achilles tendon, in between your big toe and your second toe. And then you're using your right foot to descend your left heel a little bit lower. And again, for those of you with really open hamstrings, maybe wiggle your left foot back a little more. Keep pressing the ridge of your palm forward and down so that your hips are lifting high. And in case you're wondering if your left leg is burning, you're in good company. All right, so from here, inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, look forward, bring your thumbs to touch. Inhale, right leg up. As you exhale, step to the outside of your right hand and lower your back knee down. Woo! All right, from here, like your right foot is in a ski boot, roll to the outer edge of your right foot, and then you're pulling your right hip back. So it's like funky pigeon pose. If you're in class yesterday, we did that one, but this one's a little different. Then take your right hand onto your right thigh and press it away from you and lean back. 2 more breaths here. So you're welcome to stay here, or you're going to take your right elbow to the middle of your right foot as you come down onto your forearms. Your hands come into Anjali Mudra. You're welcome to stay here with your left knee down or with your toes curled under, but keep the connection of your foot pressing into your elbow, and then your elbow presses back. Maybe lift your left knee away from the floor. More breath. Last one. From here, slowly start to rise up onto your hands. Wiggle your right foot back to the midline and step to plank pose. Take a deep inhale. Chaturanga is your exhale. Cobra or up dog. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lift your hips and pause. Easy breath in and full breath out. All right, bring your big toes to touch. Take a deep breath in. You got it, you guessed right. Exhale, bring your knees down. Slide your hands towards your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Deep breath in. As you exhale, chair pose with or without your hands. Take one big breath in. Sink a little deeper as you breathe out. Keep your hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. As you exhale, left knee to your chest, squeeze in. So kind of like before, but different. Big inhale, stand tall. Take your left hand, grab a hold of your ankle or the top of your foot as you take the thigh stretch. Tailbone is down. See if you can move the left thigh bone back. One more full breath in. As you exhale, keep your left heel squeezing to your hip. Take your hands onto your left thigh. Then as soon as you start to bow forward, hands are on your right thigh. Stretch your left leg back and then slide your hands down your leg. Standing splits with no hands or with hands. Lift your left leg up a little bit more. From here, hands to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest. Walk forward to a 3-legged down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Once again, as you exhale, hook the space between your left big toe and the second toe to soften your right heel closer to the floor. One more full bright inhale. Stay as you exhale. Inhale, take your left leg up. This time as you exhale, knee to nose and pause. Look forward on your inhale. Warrior one as you exhale. Left foot is forward. Deep inhale to rise and reach up. So weight the outer edge of your back foot a lot. Tailbone down. So you're still aiming to find that neutral position of your pelvis. Maybe lunge a little deeper. Maybe breathe a little bit deeper. Deep inhale. Stretch your arms up. Then as you exhale, float your hands to your heart center. Inhale, lift your right heel away from the floor. Kind of like at the beginning, as you exhale, draw your right knee to your chest as you rise to stand. This time, keep your hands to heart center as you bring your knees parallel to each other. Anchor the tailbone down and squeeze your right heel up towards your hip. Neutral position of the pelvis. Try to keep the tone of your hamstrings as you take your right hand to hold the inner arch of your right foot, and then inhale, left arm up. Dancer's pose. As you exhale, press your foot into your palm. Aim to stay upright. So stay in your pose. I'd like for you to think of this like mountain pose, where the crown of your head is right above your heart for just a moment. Then from here, start to kick your foot into your palm as you then begin to hinge at your hips, bow forward. Maybe your hand will come to your block, but eventually it will come to the floor. When it does, flip the grip, hold the top of your right foot, and press your foot into your palm as you return to Ardha Chandra Chapasana like before. If it's too much with the bind on your right foot, extend your right arm and your right leg, and we'll meet you there in a breath. All right, if you're in the bind, inhale, extend your right arm and your right leg. As graceful as you can, warrior two quietly. You guys are so quiet. Inhale, exalted warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, chaturanga, or skip it, and we'll meet you in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your big toes to touch and lower your knees. Slide your hands towards your knees. Keep your toes curled under. Inhale, reach up. This is the last time we're doing this one. Exhale, bring your hands to heart. Take a deep breath in. Chair pose with your hands to heart as you exhale. Sink your hips lower. Keep the breath going. Then as you inhale, keep your hands to heart. Rise to stand tall. As you exhale, right knee to your chest, squeeze it in. All right, from here, take the thigh stretch. Hold the top of your ankle or the top of your foot. So it's the same kind of movement and transition into dancer's pose. So take the time here to establish that neutral position of your pelvis. Then start to take your right thigh back without changing the position of your pelvis. I think I was just really excited for the last side. So for real on this side, keep squeezing your right heel to your hip, hands onto your left thigh. As soon as you start to bow forward, straighten your right leg and bow into standing splits for the last time today. Reach your right leg up, straighten it even more. Lift it higher, then fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, walk your hands forward to a three-legged down dog, right leg up. Inhale, lift it up. As you exhale, hook your left ankle between your right big toe and the second toe and soften the heel to the floor. This side always burns for me. The right side, not so much, but the left one, whew. All right, last time. Inhale, take your right leg up. As you exhale, knee to nose. Look forward on your inhale. Step forward as you exhale, warrior one. Inhale, begin to rise all the way up. Just gonna spin around. So let the weight anchor equally and evenly into both of your feet. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. And even though the hips are open, we want to be mindful that we're not arching too much or really tucking the tailbone underneath, but that it really is in that neutral position. Take one more full inhale to stretch up. Hands to heart as you breathe out. Then inhale, lift your left heel up. As you exhale, shift onto your right foot as you draw your left knee to your chest. Keep your hands at heart center for a moment. Start to bring your knees beside each other. Anchor the tailbone down. Squeeze your left heel towards your left hip. Take the thigh bone back. Then keep the tone of your hamstring as you start to reach back for the inner arch of your left foot. Inhale, send your right arm up. Think of mountain pose. So you stay upright for the first little bit. Start to press your left foot into your left hand as you find your way to dancer's pose, Natanajasana. Then keep pressing your foot into your hand and very slowly make your way down. Maybe your right hand will come onto your block or perhaps fingertips to the floor. Once you're down, flip the grip to hold the top of your foot and now roll the hips open. Again, if it's too much holding the foot, you'll extend your left arm and your left leg long. For those of you that are still in a bind, on your next inhale, send your left arm and your left leg long. For the last time, warrior two, as quietly as you can. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, chaturanga or skip it, and we'll meet you in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth and sigh it out. All right, take a big breath in. Lower to your knees as you breathe out. Cross your ankles and have a seat. Extend your legs forward. All right. So from here, I'm going to face this way. So from here, take your fingertips behind you. I'm going to mirror you. So keep your left leg straight and bend your right knee in. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Then you're going to lean back a little bit so that your left foot can come to the floor, so you're in a seated figure four. And the closer that you bring your left heel in, the more of a stretch it is into the outer right hip. You're welcome to stay there or to move into double pigeon pose. And I'll offer up one thing of support here. If it's too much and you're to sit with your ankle on top of your thigh. So it's the ankle, it's not the foot, because we want to avoid the foot sickling like this. So again, it's like it's in a ski boot. So you can also modify by putting your ankle on the block and then fold forward. So if you are upright in your seated figure four, be mindful that you're not slouching and rounding into your lower back. Really press your fingertips to the floor so that you can find that neutral position of the pelvis. And then for those of you that are moving into double pigeon, take your arms forward and you can either let your head go or sometimes it's really nice to support the head with your block. If you are folding forward, let your upper body surrender and let it soften. If you're in your seated figure four, maybe just let your eyes close and go inwards. Just 3 more cycles of breath. Wherever you're at, be all there. So being awake and alert to the sensations of your body. Being awake and alert to the quality of your breath. Last cycle. If you're folding forward on your next inhale, slowly rise on up. Take your fingertips behind you, and then everybody go ahead and extend your legs forward. Keep your right leg long, draw your left knee in, cross your left ankle. So again, it's not the foot, but the ankle, like it's in a ski boot. Fingertips behind you, and then lean back so that you can step your right foot to the floor. Once again, the closer it comes to your body, the more intense, let's say, it gets into the outer left hip. Or moving right into double pigeon. And on this side, if you need the support of the block, so it's the malleolus, so that round bone on the outer ankle, on the lateral side of your foot, that comes onto the block if you are using it, and it just gives you a bit more support. I could also say and suggest too that If you have the block on your ankle, sometimes because of the tension in the hip, the knee is often in the line of fire. And so this is a hip opener. It's not a knee breaker. So if another option could be is to use the block to support your thigh bone so that we are isolating this delightful opening into the outer hip and instead of the knee. So that's why you'll often hear me say, like in regular pigeon pose, or like even in lizard pose or funky pigeon pose, that it's for the outer hip. So as soon as you feel something in the knee, I really invite you to listen to that and back out. So the body is very interesting in the way that, you know, in these poses where the intention of a pose might be to open up your hips, but because of a lack of mobility and freedom there, our body could compensate somewhere else. And the law of compensation is natural, but it's definitely something to be aware of. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Go to your breath. 3 more cycles. Let your next exhale be longer than the last one. And if you are folding forward, on your next inhale, begin to rise up. Take your fingertips behind you, lean back, and extend your legs forward. Have your heels near to the front of your mat and your legs together. Your palms facing down on the floor, you're gonna sit on your hands for fish pose. Lean back a little bit so that you can bring your elbows closer together. Bring your chin into your chest and then lift your heart. Keep your chin to your chest and very slowly lower to your forearms. Option 1 is here. Option 2, lightly bring the crown of your head to the floor. And with your mouth closed, breathe deeply through your nose. On your next exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Lie down. Wiggle your arms from underneath you. And make your way to Savasana, or if you prefer, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of your feet touching. Roll your shoulders underneath you so that you feel a little bit more of a lift at your heart. And then wherever you are in the cycle of your breath, exhale it out and pull your belly in to really expel all the air. Then take a deep inhale breath for 1. Keep inhaling, expand your ribcage. Inhale 2, keep going. Inhale, 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 inhale. Hold your breath. Inhale a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Release. And relax. So let your shoulders relax. Let your belly be soft so that your breath can move freely in and out of your body. And for just a few moments, allow yourself to be exactly as you are. breath in. If you can, keep your eyes closed. And gently draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then roll over to one side and make your way to a tall seat. Either kneeling like you started or sitting cross-legged. And finding that neutral position of your pelvis. And centering your head above your heart. And just letting your palms rest in your lap. And so as we started out the practice with the intention of creating space in the breath, and we shape-shifted our bodies to create space in the body, so that hopefully by this moment there's a little bit more space in your mind. A little bit more space in between each thought. So one of the greatest intentions, if not the point of the practice, is to clear the mind. And so when we're moving with our breath and placing our awareness on the alignment of the body, we're not thinking about all the things that we're aiming to cultivate, this luminous quality of the mind, what is said to be a sattvic mind. And once the mind is in that luminous place is when the spiritual practice begins. So on your next inhale, float your hands to your heart center. And then as you exhale, gently bow your head into your heart. And may you carry your practice with you. Hopefully this sattvic quality of mind into the rest of your day and beyond. Namaste.